Right, guys, here we are, MMA UK News, Stoomboy, as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So, talking about Grapplefest 12. So, Grapplefest 12, now only just under 3 weeks away. It's going to be at the usual place, Fusion Nightclub, Fleet Street in Liverpool. That's going to be Saturday, the 21st of May. Now, anybody that's ever been at Fusion Nightclub or ever been at a Grapplefest event, it's an unbelievable venue, unbelievable atmosphere and things like that. I say the spectators are on top of the action, and it's a very knowledgeable crowd. Everybody knows what they're watching. They know what they're seeing. And Grapplefest is never an event where it's going to put on boring matchups. So every matchup is absolute fireworks, which is absolutely brilliant to see for obviously anybody either in the venue or at home watching. Now, anybody that does want tickets, head over to Grapplefest's Facebook page. It will take you through their booking system, and you'll be able to get your tickets directly from them. That's if they do have any left, because Grapplefest does sell out very, very quickly. So have a look. If not, obviously the fighters themselves, some fighters might have some tickets availability. If they do, fantastic. And anybody that can't make the event on the evening, then again, head over to Grapplefest Facebook page. The live pay-per-view will be done through Fight TV, as it was for the last Grapplefest, so Grapplefest 11. So Fight TV, you can get 3 different payment options. You can either get a monthly payment option, a subscription, a yearly subscription, or you can buy this as a one-off pay-per-view. So it's obviously up to you guys which one that you want to go for. So my next guest then is going to be on the show that night. So it's going to be Indigo King, BST Academy. Now, again, Indigo is one of these guys that we always love seeing out there. So as he loved competing. I know he was competing a lot before lockdown, managed to compete a few times since. Again, a lot of people tell me some good things about Indigo. So obviously great wrestling, great technique, jiu-jitsu is on point. So we're looking forward to seeing what he's going to bring on May the 21st. So Indigo, absolute pleasure to have you on, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Cheers for having me on. Yeah, it's
no.
really the whole 3 weeks out now. Just train everything I can, trying to be as well rounded as possible for the night, But yeah, it'll be a hell of a show.
Yes, it will be. It will be. And what about you training-wise then? Obviously, I don't want you to give away too much, Indy, all right? Because we want you to keep some of that secret ninja shit until May the 21st. But how's training generally for yourself?
Yeah, it's going amazing. I've never felt sharper than I am at the minute, to be honest. I've been working a lot on my wrestling. A lot of wrestling. The last 2 days have been sort of exclusively wrestling training, really. But I'm sort of lucky enough to have a lot of good training partners in that regard as well. But a lot of specific training as well. I'm putting myself in positions where I'm trying to sort of logically find out the solutions to problems, find out what the problems are, and then just ABC. So wherever the match goes, I've always got something from that position. Obviously, I've got my A game. I know where I'm going to get. The wrestling, the leg locks off the back. I'm covering everything as it should be. So feeling real sure.
Yeah. And it's a great team, BST Academy, absolutely fantastic team. A lot of really good people out there in the gym. So is it good to have that kind of level of competition surrounding you, especially when you're coming into Grapplefest?
Yeah, 100%. Like we've got people to give you, all the looks we want. Obviously, being an MMA gym, we've got guys that are elite in that regard. Jordan's obviously like example I can give. But it's not the only one at all. There's so many rounds we can get in with high-level guys where they're going to give me different looks, but they're just elite in their own regard. We've got elite guard guys, elite MMA guys, elite wrestlers. So there's no way you can't really afford to have like a bad part of your game because it's going to get exposed there. And obviously, with Danny and Ray and the guys that they're coaching, it's kind of everything's covered. So we're not leaving anything out. Which I think nowadays, grappling's got to that level where you've got to have an answer for everything, or you're just going to get exposed.
Yeah. We've noticed that over the years as well, because obviously years ago, as you probably may know, but there used to be gyms where it would be just a jiu-jitsu gym or just a wrestling gym, just an MMA gym and so on, whereas now a lot of gyms seem to have everything under one roof.
Yeah, I think a big part of it was when leg locks, the Dannan guys sort of changed everything up there, because it kind of exposed that there are holes that if you don't catch up and do what people are doing, then you're just going to be exposed and you're going to get caught with that kind of stuff. And since then, it's been this kind of weird catch-up game, right? Because it's shot the system so much. then now we've got all the leg lock counters, the back takes that are a big part of the game now. You look at all the Atos guys are doing, all the Rotolos, and if you hit a leg entanglement bad, they're going to be on your back. And now with wrestling, the whole wrestle up guard thing is coming around again. And I think this next year ADCC is just going to be wrestling and leg locks, because it's kind of the meta now. And you know that if you haven't got good wrestling, you haven't got good leg locks, that's the way you're going to lose. So you've got to sort of have that in the bank.
Yeah. As I said, it used to be years ago. You used to have to. I mean, it cost a lot of people money, because obviously you would be paying for a jiu-jitsu gym, then you would be paying for a wrestling gym or a kickboxing, a Muay Thai, or whatever, boxing and so on, and it would cost people a lot of money. Whereas obviously now, having everything, and a lot of gyms do it. Don't get me wrong, there's still gyms that do one specific thing or two specific things, but definitely it's great for the sport and the evolution of combat sports in general in the UK, especially wrestling. I mean, wrestling has took off so much, and that was one thing, like, certainly in the UK, that we lacked for a long time. We saw it when guys were going in the UFC and they were getting out wrestled, and whereas once we started properly wrestling and adding it into curriculums, it just changed the UK grappling game overnight, basically.
Yeah, no, I think it's a massive part of the game. Like, I don't think it's something that should be neglected, especially as when a lot of the rule sets nowadays that are popular, like you look at the ADCC rule set, and it's, you can't just neglect your wrestling because you're going to just be down straight away, right? Especially when you get penalized for grappling and stuff like this. But to be honest, that's one of the good things about Grapplefest, is that it's got this rule set that kind of funnels everyone to go for the submission and make it as much of a like fan-friendly, like viewer-friendly sport as we can. Like, we've got to be honest with it. Like grappling, I think Gordon Ryan said it. Most people in grappling are grapplers themselves. So to grow that base, we've got to do our job to make it as entertaining as we can for the people that watch. So I think wrestling is people want to see high amplitude throws, and like look at like Owen Livesey, the sort of the popularity he's got now because of the way that he fights. So I think it's on us to make sure that we're making the sport as exciting as it can be like that, and I think wrestling's a huge part of that. For those of us who understand the leg lock game and sort of the intricacies of passing and stuff like this, we love watching it. But to someone who doesn't know the sport, watching guard passing for 5 minutes or like the gi game of 50-50 stalling, like no one wants to see it. Like let's put on exciting matches, But that's what I love Grapplefest does.
Yeah, that's what I always say. Whenever I talk about, because being an older gentleman, I love the gi. I love the IBJJF rule set, because obviously it suits me being older, because obviously I can slow the match down. I can, do you know what I mean? I can play for points, play for advantages or whatever that is I'm trying to do. So again, that's just because of my age. Obviously, if I was 20 years younger, I would love like the ADCC rule set, because obviously a faster pace and so on. So, but I always talk about whenever you can sit and watch an IBJJF competition for probably a whole weekend and see 2 or 3 great matches, some highlight reel stuff. Whereas you can go to something like a Grapplefest and watch it for an hour, and every single matchup that you're going to see is absolute chaos. It's absolute fireworks.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I train a bit in the gi as well, not as much anymore. Like I haven't put the gi on in a few weeks, to be honest, because I've been sort of using that time for more specific stuff for this. But I mean, I do love, as a grappler, I started in the gi, and it's like being able to slow everything down helps the no gi as well, because you can kind of, I suppose, learn more control in certain positions. And watching it as someone who does it, even what we'd say like boring matches in IBJJF, you can learn from it, and depending on who's competing, you can be entertained that way. But for probably the wider population, I think the Grapplefest, the no gi sub only way is that's what's got grappling, what's getting it bigger. And then just got a comment coming in. Somebody we mentioned earlier, Haley Valentine. So obviously our good old pal Haley Valentine just saying, "Oi oi, Team BST back on Grapplefest." That's it, yeah. Well, like you said earlier on, like Haley put on a hell of a performance last time. That's it. We want to continue to show what we do. That's it, to put on a show.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see Haley back on, or we will. I've said more than sure that we will see Haley back on Grapplefest at some point in the near future. So, and then what about you then, Grapplefest? So how did you find out that you were going to be on Grapplefest 12?
Yeah, so I went to, I think it was like Grapplefest 2. I think it was Craig Jones and Denise. I think I was the headliner. But yeah, I went to that back in the day. And my coach at the time was Ash Williams, and he was on it as well. And yeah, so that was, you know, the second event, and it was already then like by far the best like grappling event I'd been to. Like obviously the venue's insane. The atmosphere, like you said, everyone kind of is there for the right reason. Everyone understands what's going on. So I was there for that, and then it must be about 3 or 4 years ago now. I was on the first Contender show. So this was like a blue belt event at the time, where the same as they're doing now with like 8-man rounds, and then the top 2 guys fight on the night. And I remember on that I won the first 2 matches, and then in the last match ended up getting heel hooked. So I was like, damn, it was like so close to being on the show, you know. But since then I was like, right, I want to get, you know, if there's ever a slot that comes up on Grapplefest, I want to be on it. And yeah, obviously Chris offered me the match, and yes, easy decision. This was a couple of months ago.
Yeah, and as in, it's an awesome event. I mean, we've seen it grow massively since Grapplefest 1. I mean, obviously this event especially is, we keep talking about how's he going to top the previous event, and as he does it all the time, as they christen the guys at Grapplefest, always top the previous event. And again, this event is no different. As an unbelievable event that you're going to see from start to finish as well. I mean, every single fight, it's well matched up as well, because you'll probably know that you've probably been to events where, whether it be grappling or MMA, and there's a lot of mismatches where, do you know what I mean, you might have a blue belt, in against a brown belt, or do you know what I mean? And it can be mismatched, whereas Grapplefest seem to have it all evenly matched, and really, really good matchups.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think that's probably the thing they do best, right? Is that they do the matching, and they match well for the rules that they put on as well. You know, like with obviously the last event, we had the Daisy Fresh guys coming over. Like there wasn't a boring match from like the first match, literally the first match. You're like, what, we got to take a step back. Like the pace is high, everyone's out there for the sub. I think the crowd has a big part of it as well. Like feeding off the energy there. You know, like I said, when I've been there as a spectator before, you can see people really get involved with it. Like they want a reaction from the crowd. You want to be the guy that hits that fruity sub. You know, you want to be the guy who's got a highlight reel, and Grapplefest is obviously the sort of the platform that's going to get you that exposure if you get it. So all the foundations are set, and for us competing, it's kind of we couldn't ask for more there. We've got great matches that allow us to perform. We've got a great environment for it and a great platform. So I think it's just the best at the moment.
Yeah, and we saw Spatch, Daisy Fresh's Spatch doing the shoey at Grapplefest 11. So what about you? If you get the W on the 21st of May, are you going to be doing anything like that to celebrate?
Hey, if there's someone with beer there, then hey, I'm not going to say no, am I? I was there at the Daisy Fresh seminar in Bicester about, was it like the week after the boys were on Grapplefest as well? So I got a chance to roll with some of those guys there as well and speak to them. And it's, they're exactly how you'd imagine them to be. It'd be obviously great to share the card with some of the guys that are coming over again. We've got like Livesy and Pixley, which is just it's ridiculous. Like we were saying about the matching, like how if you're going to find 2 like the most exciting guys in grappling at the minute and put them together, that's literally what they've done, right? I had a roll with Pixley at the seminar, and it's just different league, and obviously everyone says about Livesy as well. So yeah, I'm really, really excited for that one.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Daisy Fresh guys as well. I mean, see and it's that first impression when you look at someone, you think, do you know what I mean? Oh, I can take this person, I can take that person, and we all do it. Do you know what I mean? We all do it, and then you step in against somebody like a Michael Pitts, or even Spatch. I mean, Spatch, obviously a big tall guy with a mullet, and you think, oh, I can take this guy. And then he's probably the worst person that you can try and take on, because he just run through you.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I roll with a lot of guys there, and it's they're all so like disciplined in the way they roll as well. And like obviously under Heath, like he just got such good knowledge of the game, and they all stick to sort of the same principles when they roll. Like a lot of the time, I was finding that they have the sort of the same ABCs, but they just kind of had their own like flavor to it, I guess. They're all like the fundamentals that you can tell that they've been coached in the right way. There's no sort of obvious gaps. They're just doing everything right until you make a mistake. And they're entertaining in the way they grapple. I think that's part of the way that they're coached, right? They don't. You're not going to see them stalling out for a decision win or anything like this. And it's especially with the YouTube following that they've got. I think it's such a good thing for the sport. That adds a bit of hype, adds a bit of character to the people behind how we're actually rolling.
Yeah, nah, we do love the Daisy Fest. We were up in Scotland as well. Obviously, they came up. I think it was about 10 of them come up in a van, and they just got to the venue where we had the seminar. And they all just piled out the van, straight in, dressed, ready to go, and that was it.
I think
Straight back in the van.
Yeah. They came to you. Well, I remember our seminar finished at like 10, 11, like it was a late one, and then they jumped in the van and headed up straight to you then. So it's like, man, it's like just some week-long bender they come on after the grapple.
Nah, it was great seeing them. Obviously, great getting and obviously sharing some knowledge with them as well. So it's something that we'll always remember. We'll always remember that, and they're getting a lot of converts as well from the UK because a lot of people are saying, "Well, look, we're going to come over and do the Daisy Fresh experience and spend a few months, 6 months or whatever." So we saw it with Rosa Walsh. Rosa Walsh went over, and there's obviously some guys from Scotland, some guys from England going to do the same thing.
Yeah, no, I'd love to do the same thing. You know, I'd love to get across there and get some training in with them. But like I can tell, like even from some of the stuff that they taught on the seminar I went to, like I've used that and hit that in competition since, like because it was explained so well, you know, and it's something you can go away, you can drill, you can sort of learn the principles behind what they're teaching and why they're teaching it, and then you sort of understand. The more you do it, you're like, damn, they're really good minds that are behind all those guys. Obviously, Heath and Pixie and Wolseley, like they're elite at what they do. So when they explain it and they can teach it to back it up as well, but it's just it's no surprise that they're getting the results that they are.
Definitely. And then what's next for you then? So Grapplefest 12 will be one of your main focuses, one of your main goals at the moment. So what would you like to see yourself doing going forward after Grapplefest 12?
Yeah. So obviously plan to get the win at Grapplefest first. Probably just try and keep that going. You know, if it get a good win, put on a good performance, put on a show. Obviously on a platform like Grapplefest, that does a lot of the work, right? People want to put on grappling shows with exciting matches, then that's where you're going to prove yourself. So I want to get W there. Obviously, try and get back on Grapplefest as well would be amazing. We've actually got a quintet style event in August with BST against Renegade. So that's down at 10th Planet Banbury hosting that. So that's something that especially you can prepare for it like with your team. So that'll be a good one. I'm looking forward to that. We've been doing some sort of quintet style training in the gym as well, doing the 5v5s. So that'll be a real good fun one. But just want to try and get my name out there, getting as many matches as possible. And like we say, just trying to be as entertaining as a grappler as you can. Definitely.
And then it's got another comment coming in from Fisticuffs Podcast, just saying the stud. But I don't know if they're talking about you or me. So it must be you, Indy. It definitely must be you.
Dan, Dan Lester, man, by the podcast. But it's another one of the guys I train with at BST. We've got a lot of talent there, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot of us on different shows like MMA, grappling. Like we're going to start moving up. We're going to see a lot of us more in there. We've got Tom Mearns, who's obviously in Cage Warriors. He's started moving to the grappling circuit as well now. Getting the wins. Like there's a lot of momentum behind us at the minute, and I'm just there to carry it on. Yeah,
listen, I love the BST Academy. So, as I speak a lot with Hayley Valentine, as I mentioned, that's an absolutely brilliant grappler, MMA fighter as well, Hayley. So, obviously doing some great things out there at the moment. So, and I say the rest of the team, we always love seeing you guys out there and doing your thing. So, I'm looking for There we go. We're back. I don't know what happened there, Indy. So, final thing for you then. So, obviously, been in the game for a little bit. So, anybody you want to shout out to? So, the usual friends, family members, teammates, things like that.
Yeah. Oh man, if I start naming names, I'm going to forget people. So all the people I train with at BST, you are like the guys that I'm getting the rounds in with, I'm getting the training with, all the coaches obviously as well, having their input. Obviously everyone who supports me, all my friends and family around me, it means the world. I was really excited to get in there, do what I love, put on a show.
Definitely. So there we go, guys. We're going to have Indigo King, BST Academy, going to be at Grapplefest 12. So that's Saturday, 21st of May. Going to be at the usual place, Fusion Nightclub, Fleet Street in Liverpool. Now, again, tickets, if there is any availability left, head over to Grapplefest Facebook page. It will take you through their booking system. You might be lucky. Some fighters might still have some tickets available left. If so, then definitely get them directly from the fighters. And anybody that can't make the event on the evening, Fight TV, as I say, 3 different payment options, monthly option, a yearly annual subscription, or the pay-per-view details. It's probably better. I mean, if you're looking at buying it, then as I said, I would either go for the yearly subscription or the monthly option, because I think the pay-per-view is about $14.99. So the other options are obviously a little bit more cost efficient. Plus, there'll be more Grapplefest events throughout the year. So yeah, you're going to save yourself quite a bit of money by getting the yearly subscription. So Indy, that's an absolute pleasure, buddy, to have you on.
Nah, appreciate it. Thanks a lot for having me on, man. Enjoyed the chat.
No, definitely. Listen, enjoy the rest of your training, all right? And we'll see you on the 21st, buddy.
Love it. Take it easy.
Take care.